Good morning. This is Chuck Forwell with Anajet. I'm a regional sales manager here at our only facility that we have here in Southern California that covers everything throughout the United States, Alaska, Hawaii, and international. I want to welcome all of you that have taken the time to join us today. And we want to talk about why you should look at direct-to-garment. It is part of the future. It is something that many of you are on here, you're questioning, should I get into it? Should I add it to my existing business? Any imaging type business, promotional products, retail, you need to diversify. And having DTG will allow you that diversification. You're always looking to find new products, or you're getting pressured for pricing on the products because maybe you're outsourcing it. And being a middle person, you don't have the control of the prices or as well as turnaround in the servicing. Again, there's competition out there. We all know that. We all have to deal with that every day. But here's one of the other big reasons to look to direct-to-garment. It is a highly profitable business. It's where the money is at. And it will open up a revenue stream that I think all of you will be very, very happy to see if you incorporate this into your operations. Digital shirt printing. From an overview, the whole industry within garment decoration is $44 billion. Within that subset, the whole garment printing industry, that's nearly $25 billion a year. Currently, right now, screen printing occupies about a 90% factor of all of that garment printing. Slowly, though, that's getting eroded by digital printing. That's what this brings to the marketplace. It allows you to be part of that $25, $23 billion industry that's sitting out there. Now, when you get into garment printing, there are challenges. Production equipment can be costly. If you're looking at screen printing, it's very costly. You're buying screen printers, you're buying tunnel dryers, you need large areas to set up, rent, overhead, all of this becomes very, very expensive. Smaller jobs are not where it's at when you get into screen printing. There's either very little margin, maybe even loss of any type of revenue. You may be doing it for no profit at all. But at the same time, you still need to attract new clients. You need that competitive edge to lock in your repeat buyers and clients. You also need something where you can turn this around quickly. And if you're in those types of industries where you're either doing screen printing or you're outsourcing it to screen printing, you don't have a fast turnaround. So sometimes you look at it and go, why should I even get into it? This is where direct-to-garment printing can be very, very helpful. With DTG, you have durable, high-volume direct-to-garment printers. They're very easy to learn for multiple product lines. And we'll talk later about the various product lines that you can get into. And as I mentioned earlier, this is where the money is at. Profit margins are very high, up to 75% in some situations. You also get to attract all types of new business with just samples. It's very easy to put a logo, maybe some kind of a company's image on a product, a shirt, a towel, something that you can walk in and hand to somebody, and it speaks for what your business does, as opposed to just handing them your business card and a brochure. With DTG, you have very quick turnaround. You have personalization, meaning I don't have to have just a generic print. I can take something that's very unique for them. I can make it specific. I can customize it. And those are things you just can't always find in other types of print mediums, especially such as in transfers or in screen printing. With DTG, you can personalize it with everything that you turn out. Again, your lead times come down to nearly zero. You don't have shipping issues. You're taking away the middleman, which means, one, your customer is happier. They're getting addressed faster. You're increasing your margins. You're opening up a whole new business that you now can get your hands around, as well as add to your existing business or start up with a new business, as many of you are looking to do. Now, there's some definite operational advantages when you get into DTG. First of all, it's easy to learn and use. We have a lot of our customers, many customers, are just startups. Just spoke to somebody today. They've seen the products out there. They've seen the capability. They're looking to buy a printer, and they've never done printing before. And they understand, especially when you come to our training classes, how easy this can be done. The ramp up goes very, very quickly. And if you're coming from a background of garment decoration, such as doing vinyl transfers, you're doing screen printing, the learning curve goes even faster. Space-wise, you don't need a lot of space to have this set up. You can do this in your current office. You can do it in a spare room in your home. You can do it either in an industrial or retail store. You have a lot of opportunities here to bring a printer, a heat press, and the operations into something that takes up really not much more than 75 to 80 square feet for the whole operation. Again, as we mentioned earlier, you can differentiate your business. You can let people know what you do by giving them samples. A typical sample shirt with an order, you can hand a $3 shirt over to somebody to get their business. Many of you on this call have actually spoken to myself or other sales managers in the company, and we probably sent you samples. And many of you on this call may already be current customers. And I'm going to bet that many of you also took those samples, and from the samples and the other information we sent to you, it was the samples that kind of solidified your determination to go forward with purchasing one of our printers. And you can do the same thing in your own business. That sample speaks volumes. It's great to have the business card and it's great to have the brochure, but when you hand them a finished product, they know exactly what you're able to do. And what that really pays off for is that your investment in a direct-to-garment printer allows you to recover your investment in very, very short orders of time. You can do it in as little as 90 days. And that's not my word. That's not us giving you a sales hype here. It's actually our customers. In fact, I will share with you later in this presentation somebody who actually recovered their entire investment on our top-end printer, and they got it all back in 12 days. Not even 2 weeks. It was less than 2 weeks, 12 days. So it's definitely something that when you're looking at making an investment, many times in businesses, you're hoping to get something back in a year, 2 years. If you're into the restaurant business, you're hoping to get your investment back within 4 to 5. Now you're looking at something that can allow you to get that investment back within less than 12 months. So who in the industry understands the advantages of having direct-to-garment, or who is, as we like to say around here, who gets it? Who understands it? Well, commercial printers, they get it. Some of you on this call may be commercial printers. You already understand inkjet technology. You're already familiar with the kind of software. So bringing in direct-to-garment gives you a very fast ramp-up time. Learning curves go very, very quickly. You also get faster turnaround now. This is something that instead of outsourcing, you can do immediately. You can do it on site. You can give it to your customer today or tomorrow. You don't have to outsource it. You don't have to wait on their time frame, their quality control. You don't have to queue up behind their customers or pay extra maybe to get to the front of the line. You can do this whenever, and you get to stop turning away business. You also get to customize and personalize, as we talked about. And the difference here is you now have bigger margins on products that you might have been outsourcing because you brought it in-house. You've cut out the middleman. You've also created more customer loyalty. Now the customer says, I can come to your operations. I can get my printing needs done. And by the way, I can also have garments done. I can have other promotional products done. I just had a discussion this morning with a gentleman back in Kansas City looking at this very same thing. He is a printer. He prints all kinds of documents, but he also realizes he's losing business because people keep asking him for things such as shirts and other promotional products. He's bringing one of our printers into his operations. Some of you on this call might be in the embroidery business, screen printers. These folks, they get it. They understand that now you can personalize things. Companies like Cafe Press or Zazzle, who some of you on this call might be very familiar with. These are the kind of companies that use our printers in order to fulfill the needs of their customers because they can do it in quick time, they can do customization, they can turn it around and still have very high margins. Again, individuals in the screen printing and embroidery business, they have a fast learning curve. It's not difficult with these machines at all. You already understand colors. You know how to modify graphics. You know how to digitize. This is why screen printers right now say yes to digital garments because, again, somebody walks in and they want 500, 1,000 shirts in 2 colors, not a problem. That's a screen printer's job. But somebody walks in and says, I need 5 shirts, and I need them today. I need them tomorrow. And the graphic has 7 or 8 or 9 colors in it. Well, guess what? They can turn that out right now instead of turning them away. Embroiderers, you can print a sample on demand. How nice would that be? You don't have to sew it out. You can show them the design, see how it looks before you go to all of that work. You've cut down on your operational costs. You don't need as many people. And it enables you to have full color digital prints with high volumes. And again, when you add the customization, you add the fast turnaround, you're satisfying your customers' needs. And again, you're creating customer loyalty, and all you've done is add something in addition to what your business is already set up and geared to do. Some of you on this call may be in the promotional products business. And how many of you are in a position where you're needing speed, you need quick customization, they want to personalize. You can offer extra products, you can give greater variety, and you can stop outsourcing. You don't have to hold back and ask for that order for shirts because you're thinking, I really don't want to go get 6 shirts printed up. I can do it on my own now. But when you don't have that printer, you're losing that opportunity. And again, you're creating a greater bond with your customer. You're allowing yourself to be more of a stronger relationship with them and less likely for them to leave you because you can provide so many more things. Again, the margins go up. You cut down on the lead times. You cut out the middleman. Again, you're putting samples out there on demand. It allows you to show them what you do. And if all it does is create the opportunity to do some direct-to-garment printing, but at the same time, you're picking up other promotional products that you sell and provide, then it's opening doors for business that you didn't have before. There's a little company some of you may have heard of called Google. They get it. They understand. We had a great situation occur last year in November, right before the Thanksgiving holidays, where right down in the middle of New York's Times Square, over a 3-day period of time, individuals came up and they had their little Android bot shirts. They were all customized. Everyone was customized, and over a 3-day period of time, 1,700 customized shirts were printed. 1,700. That's nearly 600 a day, and that's customization. It takes time. You've got to stop, upload the new image and everything, and print the shirt off. Can you imagine what an operation or the ability to have this capability in your operations would do for you? The ability for somebody to walk in, hand you that graphic, and tell you they need it back yesterday and be able to fulfill it, or be able to walk in and say, I'm in a bind, I need 300 shirts for the big weekend getaway. It's Wednesday, I need it by Friday evening, and you can do it. You can do it under your terms with your quality control, and guess what? You get charged a little bit more when you do those kind of things because people pay for quick response, for urgency, and you get to profit from that. besides just shirts, and we've talked a lot about shirts, and people will talk about Anajet and the direct-to-garment business as being T-shirt printers, and that's essentially, historically, what they were geared to do. But you have other applications. You're not limited to just shirts. You do sweatshirts. You can do jeans. You can print custom socks. You can print on towels, blankets, canvas bags. You can print on bamboo. You can print on wood or tile as well. You also have the ability to use foil within your operations. Some of you might have received a foil sample, if not already incorporated it into your operations. It's amazing what 25 cents worth of material will do to a print. And in all candor, what it really does is it creates a uniqueness about that shirt or the garment that you're printing, and suddenly the value of that product rises another $5 to $10. And all you did was put 25 cents worth of material to it. That's a very, very big ROI. You can print on hats with these. Some of you may have been to some of the trade shows that we go to where you've obtained a canvas bag. You can print on stretch canvas. You can take artwork. You can take photographs and apply it to all of these things. So you're not just locked in to just T-shirts. It can be children's shirts. It can be custom socks. We have a customer here in Southern California, and that's all she does. 5 days a week, custom socks. That is it. And it's a six-figure business for her. Some of you may be questioning, okay, it's a great idea, it's a great concept, but who are the markets? Who do I go after? Now, some of you have probably already done your homework. You've already identified where you're going to sell into, or maybe you've already got businesses lined up. But you have to start looking around going, okay, there's retail stores around. There's nonprofits. There's athletic teams over here. Maybe they just need cheer shirts, or maybe they need custom socks. The schools are a great source. There's all kinds of opportunity out there. And again, if you're coming into this new, if you're coming into this fresh, these are the things that you want to incorporate into your business plan to show this is where I'm going to target. And believe me, it's very competitive out there. They look for people who provide good service, good quality, and in it with an efficient turnaround time and at a good price. With our printers, you have the capability of handling all of that. So your markets out there are extremely wide open. Now, as I said, there was going to be a little bit of a commercial here today, and we wouldn't be doing our just service if we just talked about the industry itself without talking about the specifics of our company. And I am proud to say we have just rolled out our new 2016 model printer. It's called the Empower I-Series Generation 2, or Gen 2 as we call it here. It is the fastest single platen direct-to-garment printer in the industry. Hands down, it is the fastest. Unlike many of the other printers out there in the industry, from a historical perspective or even currently, using plastic Epson type print heads, we have incorporated from day one in our Empower series the Ricoh Gen 4 stainless steel print heads. And we did that for a reason, because they take a beating. They last. We made it an industrial printer. Plastic print heads will serve their time, but they also have a limited time. And after so many prints, you have to wind up replacing them. When you have stainless steel print heads like a Ricoh Gen 4, these things are designed to take 100 billion, and that's with a B, 100 billion actuations. So you've got a print head here that's built for durability. Again, rapid return on your investment. You have first-class technical support and training, something I will say here and I'll say it again. As long as you own our machine, you have free technical support for the life of that machine. You'll always be able to talk on a direct 800 line to any of our technical support personnel right here at our factory in Southern California, which says everything is engineered, it's assembled, it is supported right here in the good old US of A. And we're the only ones in the industry that will provide that information to you and sell it directly to you. We don't use distributors, and we'll be there whether it's a month from now or it's 60 months from now to help you with your needs. That's something we've been doing for going on 11 years in this company. Now here's some of the advances that we have rolled out with the new Gen 2. First of all, the maintenance station. We have re-engineered the entire maintenance station. The capping mechanism now has got a new improved seal with print heads. We've redesigned the wiper blade. Now it's up and down rather side to side. Not only is it a smoother and faster operation, it has the capability to enhance your production, so you have less wait time. Still prints at the same high speeds as we'll talk about here in a little bit, but it now has less wait time. So it says in the course of a day you have the ability to generate more prints than you had before. We've also internalized more quality control by putting covers over the internal circuit boards, as well as putting clear coats on those circuit boards as well. There's 2 exhaust fans at the back now that will draw out the particulates that could be floating around from overspray within the printer itself. The power supply casing has been redesigned, and we've relocated the encoder strip to minimize any ink contamination as well. And again, these are the things that as we engineer them, we are the owners of the patents, we continuously look to improve our presence in our machines. These are the things that have now been incorporated into this new Gen 2 printer. At the same time, it's got a new design. Some of you may have seen our older Empire machines. We've relocated the control panel off to the right-hand side. Makes for a little easier operation during the maintenance time that you have. We've also now have a front panel finish that reduces the fingerprints and unsightly smudges that some of our customers said, wish you could fix this so it didn't always have that kind of look on it. So we've dealt with that. It's also got a very nice, easy to clean coating on the outer shell. The software itself has been updated. With our printers now, as we're selling the Gen 2, for a limited time, we're also including the Spark software. This is a software that is designed to allow you, if you're not a graphic artist, you're not comfortable or familiar with Corel, Photoshop, Illustrator, any of those, you now get the Spark software, which allows you to create your own designs, incorporate others, modify them, make customizations. That's included. That's nearly a $700 value that we're including at this time. We've updated the other aspects of our software. You now have Ethernet connection capability. Multiple printers can be supported on this, as well as being able to work in a network environment, so you don't have to be tethered into the printer itself with your computer, or you don't even have to work with a thumb drive and use one of the 2 USB ports that we have on the machine. The RIP automation feature has also been uploaded, or upgraded, I should say. And so what we've done now is we've created a more durable printer, a printer that will allow you to enhance your production, a printer that is going to give you the capability to be even more responsive, have a longer life, and have the ability to get your ROI back in an even faster period of time. Again, some of the advantages that we have always had and will continue to have here at Anajet is, as I mentioned, free lifetime software and firmware upgrades. As we improve and enhance our printers, those upgrades get passed along to our customers. If we're successful, we want you to be successful. If we're making it better, we want you to be better. You have free lifetime training. Now, yes, you will need to come to our facilities here in Southern California. And for some of you, you may say, okay, I can't get away. It's either impossible personally, financially, whatever. That's fine. We have online training. We have other training DVDs. We have our tech support team here to assist you and get you through any and all of your training issues. And guess what? The nice thing is, if you come out here and you spend a day with us, working with us in our machines and using our printers to print on our shirts and use our inks, you get to do that as often as you would like. So if you ever want to come back another time, get away, come to sunny Southern California and be only 3 miles away from the beach and get the government to pay for it as a business expense, guess what? You get to come back and do that again as often as you would like for you or anybody else in your company. Free lifetime technical support, something that many of our competitors only offer up for maybe the first 18 to 24 months, and after that you have to get your credit card out when you call in and you ask for support. So again, things like this that make it even easier to own and operate your printer. We don't have any hidden setup fees. There's no mandatory site visit. There's no mandatory package that you have to have. We incorporate heat presses and other equipment into our printer sales. But if you've already got that equipment, we can unbundle that, and we can still make a very, very good financial package for you to invest in. There's no other, and I say that in all candor, there's no other DTG manufacturer that offers what we deliver. Let's talk a little bit about the software that does come with it, the RIP software. It's our proprietary software. You get to drag and drop any type of a graphic in there. You get to set the background as to the color of the garment that you're printing on, so you can get a very clean, clear view of how this is going to look. You can print on black or white or gray or chartreuse or pink or any and all colors in between. You're going to know what this thing looks like so that you can make the determination if it's the right shirt, the right garment, or even the right graphic. It will calculate the ink cost for you. It's going to determine before that customer is told what it's going to be. You can calculate the ink and say, oh my goodness, this is 30 cents on a white shirt. Maybe that same graphic on a black shirt is going to be 80 cents. Or maybe they've got a gargantuan graphic, it's heavily saturated, and you're printing up $2 worth of ink. You can build that into your cost model. You also have the ability to incorporate the LCD preview on the printer as well. So this allows you to select your jobs as they're coming through. You have an enhanced preview screen. Give you a little bit about some of the speed aspects and the differences between the MP10 and the MP5. Showing right here what you're looking at approximately for an average print on a white shirt as well as a black shirt. Many of you are aware that on black and dark garments, you have to put the underlying white ink base and then you come back with the color inks. Just that is the nature of the beast when you're printing on dark garments. So it's going to slow down your production time, but again here, 20 seconds on average, 40 seconds for black shirts. You go to the MP5, now your times or wait are a little bit longer. But if you extrapolate that out in a 10-hour workday, 5 days a week, that says per day you could be doing 400 to 800 shirts on an MP10. You could be doing 250 to 500 on an MP5. You go back to that situation we had with Google last year where every shirt was a customized shirt, and we were still able to generate almost 600 shirts a day. It's almost 600 a day. You take that, you translate it into number of shirts a month, number per year, and again, let's just cut those numbers down. Cut them down by 25% of that. Let's say you're only doing maybe 100 shirts a day on the 10, or you're only doing maybe 60 to 70 shirts a day on the Empower. Again, that's a large volume. That's a large amount of revenue. And the revenue you can look at is very similar to this screen that I have right in front of you. You're talking $3 to $5 in average cost. That includes the price of the shirt. You've got average retail prices, $15 to $18. I have some customers that don't charge less than $20, and some are upwards to $35 to $40. That says minimally you should be looking at a $10 profit per shirt, which says on the MP5, 1,800 shirts later, or on the MP10 after 2,800 shirts, your investment is paid for. If you're doing that capacity, as we showed on the earlier screen, it does not take long to recover your entire investment, not at all. Now you have a machine that gives you quality output, you've got the volume, you have also very efficient production. I told you I would share with you some of the testimonials by some of our clients. One of them here I do want to share with you, Henry Landau back in Princeton. Some of you may know him, may have talked with him. If not, it's a super guy. They incorporated one of our printers, one of our earlier models, the Sprint, several years ago into their operations. It's a bookstore. It's been in the family for over 100 years. They put one of those in, and as Henry points out here, it took them 5 months to get their money back. Now, even with the Sprint, he said at that time, you couldn't pay us to replace the machine, and he's absolutely right. He paid us to sell him an MP5. And now he's got that shirt machine in there, and he's doing 2,000 shirts in a very short period of time. Last time I checked with Henry, when he and I talked a few months ago, the man's doing on average about $15,000 a month just on production with his printers. Sue Wazicki out of Florida. She and her husband, Gene, great people. You can see here the images of their trailer that they take mobile, and they actually go on-site to county fairs all over the country. Even though they're based in Florida, they've come out here to LA and done the fairs out here. These are the folks I told you earlier that within 12 days, they paid for a brand new MP10. 12 days. Sue was so cute, she was funny. She said the only problem she had with using our machine was that in the 12 days, her hands hurt so much from holding that much money and going to the bank. So I said, you know what, Sue, I'll send you a little bit of aspirin. It'll relieve the pain, but in the meantime, her machine was paid for in 12 days. Some of you on this call may have already spoken to somebody or met with somebody in our organization called Katie Aritos out of Illinois, right outside of Chicago. Katie is another individual who jumped in. She had this machine up and running in a short period of time. She was off to the races. She prints shirts. She prints other garments. She prints on wood. She has all types of capability that she does, and she is a high-quality, high-volume producer. These are the kind of people that show to you, or should show to you, the capabilities of coming from different backgrounds. People, Katie never did this before. Sue and Gene were starting out fresh. Henry Landau put it into a bookstore, not even sure whether the thing would work or not. And after a few years, he's had 2 of our machines in his operations. I want to take a little bit of time because we've thrown a lot of information here out to you. Wanted to discuss some of your questions that you might have, see how we can clear the air on some of the questions, obviously, that haven't been answered. Maybe some of them have. One of the questions I do have out here is, will the presentation be up here on our website? It will be. Probably by the end of this week, first of next week, we will take this presentation. We'll put it back up there on our website. You can download it, take your time going through the slides, look at the various examples that we've thrown up, look at the calculations and information. So definitely that will be up there for your use. Probably by week's end. Worst case, we should have it up there by Monday. Got a question here. It says, let's see, what sort of special attachments are needed to print on hats? Well, Naomi, I can tell you there's a platen that you can add to the machine. It gives you the capability to print on that front panel of a ball cap and other types of other hats. Does a great job. We've had many people that incorporate it into their operations. You also have a platen that allows you to print on youth sizes. They are smaller, sometimes requiring a little bit extra effort to hold them secure in place. And the youth table is a great, great add-on to put onto your order, as well as the sleeve table that allows you to print on the sleeve of the machine. All of our machines, when you get them, do come with a pocket platen, enabling you to take care of that issue when somebody is wanting to put something on a surface that is slightly raised above the shirt itself. And which is really nice, in the software, when you drop the graphic in, it will actually ask you, are you printing this on the left pocket, the right pocket, a youth table, even a hat? And it will customize it right down to fit onto the platen itself. Are there certain types of graphics, solid photos, that don't print well? Not really. It really gets down to the ability of the owner of the machine and understanding the software, working with the software. Certain graphics are not going to look good if they originated in a bad format. If somebody brings you a photo and it's slightly fuzzy in its normal size, if you blow that up to put it on a shirt, it's going to look even worse. You just don't have control of that. If they also provide you with a graphic that was not clearly done, or it has a lot of inaccuracies within the graphic, wasn't done real well, they were maybe a novice at creating graphics, unless you have the ability to change that, it's still going to be what it is. But again, you have a lot of capability with these machines, and if you are a good commercial graphic artist, you're not going to have any problems on here. Got a question here about 50-50 cotton poly shirt prints and 100% coverage. You can definitely do 50-50, meaning a 50% cotton, 50% polyester shirt, definitely capable. When you get into 100% polyester, you're going to be limited over to those that are light or white in nature. So do understand direct-to-garment, and that's not just us, it's the whole industry. When you get into 100% polyester, black and dark garments, it's not a printable subject for you. You can print on them, it just is not going to last. Just will not last. Can we depreciate the machines if we list them as assets on our taxes? Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, one of the great things with these machines, whether you buy it outright or you finance it, you have something called Section 179 IRS tax benefits. I'm not a CPA, not a tax authority, but check that out with your accountant or CPA, and they will show you that you have the ability to depreciate as well as write off the initial purchase in the first year itself. Now, pre-printing on the ink calculator. Is it pre-print or post-print? It is post-print, or post-rip, I should say. You've actually ripped the graphic itself. You're not printing. It's just giving you the calculation after you've put it into the system. You've determined this is the way you want it to look. You say calculate. It now tells you this is 30 cents or $1.30 or whatever it is, but you have not printed anything yet. It gives you that capability to look at it from a pre-printing situation. Pre-treating. Pre-treating comes with the whole issue of direct-to-garment when you're dealing with black or dark garments. This is something that is the nature of the beast in the whole direct-to-garment industry, and it's an integral part, but it's not that difficult, and there's multiple ways to pre-treat a shirt, whether you're doing it with spray, whether you're doing it with a machine, whether you're doing it with iron-ons. There's even the capability of doing it with aerosol cans. I would encourage you to talk with your regional sales manager, if you have one already, about the various pre-treating options, whether it's using a Wagner sprayer or purchasing a pre-treat machine. They all have pluses and minuses, and it all gets into what you feel very, very comfortable about. Now, as far as pricing, and by the way, let me back up a little bit on the pre-treat. Go out to YouTube and do a search for Anajet on Anajet printers, and you'll find various how-to videos. On one of them is pre-treat, and it'll show you how it's done. It'll also show you about little tips and tricks, the playlist, as well as there is also a video on how to do foil. So a lot of the questions or issues that you may have about foil, pre-treating, and other mechanisms to use on the printer itself, you can easily find those out there on YouTube. Now the pricing, I do have a question here about pricing. Right now, we are running a special for a limited time only on the Gen 2. We are knocking $7,000 off the MSRP. I would encourage you to speak specifically and directly with your regional sales manager. They can give you the particulars of that, as well as any other specials that might be going on of your interest. But again, this is for a limited time only, $7,000 off for these brand new printers that we're rolling out. Now, special attachments, again, to print on hats. We talked about the pre-treat or the hat platen. On the Sprint, I have an individual here who says, I have a Sprint. Will there be an update for it? Sorry, at this time, the Sprint, which is a printer we rolled out about 5.5 years ago, there aren't any plans to upgrade that. It's a great little workhorse if this is a printer that fits more for your needs. Again, if you would, talk with your sales manager that you've been discussing this about, and they can give you the pluses and minuses about the Sprint if it fits good with your operations, or you need to think about going up to something bigger on there as well. There's also the ability to look at a trade-in with your Sprint for one of our Empower printers as well. Requirements for taking the M-Series mobile. Well, it really gets down to how strong is your back. The printers are 180 pounds in weight, but I will tell you this, they are very mobile. We have many, many people that take these from location to location. These work off of 110 outlets, so a standard generator will be able to suffice for the printer as well as your heat press. The primary thing that you want to stay concerned about is the location of when you take it mobile. You want to keep your environment clean. You want to keep the humidity at a 45% or higher factor. So if you are going to go do this out in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the day, you want to make sure you've got a nice enclosed trailer or van or whatever facility you're doing it in to keep your temperatures under control, keep your humidity under control. But generally, again, this is something that so many of our customers have found to be of great, great value and success for them. So will the printer be on display at the Graph Expo in Chicago next month? The question is answered by the simple answer, yes. On September 13, 14, 15, and 16, we will be in Chicago at the Graph Expo. We will be exhibiting there. Actually, also next week, if you have the ability to come over to the NBM show in Philadelphia, 28th through the 30th, we will have our printers there at the show. I'll be there personally. I would love to meet with any of you that come by the booth. We will then also in, in Atlanta in November 4, 5, and 6, we'll be at the SGIA show. And after the first of the year, we'll be back in Long Beach at the ISS show in January, the 22nd through the 24th. We'll be in Dallas in February for the ASI. We'll be in Arlington back in March again for the NBM show. And we'll be in Atlantic City in March for the ISS show. That's the 18th through the 20th. All of our trade shows can be found on our website. We'll show you the dates, the times. If you'd like to get passes, have the ability to come into the show at no cost, we'd love for you to be our guest. Just contact your regional sales manager. He or she will be more than happy to provide you with that assistance, get you the passes that you need, come by the booth, and be able to see the printers up close right there in personal. Do you have a platen that allows you to print on shoes? Unfortunately, at this time, we do not. Some of our customers have developed their own capabilities to do so. There are some engineering thoughts of being able to develop one. Right now, I could not give you a specific date as to when we will have that platen. Unfortunately, that is something that we do not provide at the current time. Now, ink replacement cost always enters into the dialogue, and I will tell you that on these machines, there's 6 cartridges. The total cost of them is $380, and that is for all 6. You can buy them all together. You can buy them individually. It doesn't matter. You don't have to buy them all at one time. If you only need yellow, you only need black, you can buy what you need. But keep in mind, we are one of the few companies that does provide an ink replacement if you've gone past the expiration date for any unopened cartridges. And again, that's part of our service to our customers to make sure that if you're in that situation, we want to take care of your needs and not burden you with any undue expenses that you can't recover from. By the way, I do want to point out that right now we are having some sales going on with that ink, and you can get even lower costs than the 380. We also have double-sized cartridges, which lowers your cost as well on a per milliliter basis. You'll also find that our ink costs are the lowest around. Some of our competitors are as high as double our ink costs. And what that really means is that over time, after 2 to 3 years with normal production, you could wind up paying an extra ink cost with one of those machines for buying a second Empower printer from us. So keep that in mind when you're doing your analysis. Can you print something on the back of the hat along the adjustment band? That's a little tougher. I'm not saying that you couldn't do it. I've seen many of our customers be very creative in their ability to do that. It might take a little bit of a trial and error, but I'm not going to say it can't be done, but I can also say that it definitely is going to be done. At the same time, are there certain, I'm sorry, it says, do you have pricing chart available that would help us, give us a ballpark? When you say a pricing chart, I'm assuming about the printer, or are you talking about the shirts? If you're talking about shirts or how to price your products, definitely the sales team here can help you with that. If it's specific about the pricing for the machine itself, again, all of those can be obtained when you talk with your regional sales manager here. When you purchase a product, is there a tech to help you with the setup if needed? Let me answer that real quickly. Yes, and you do want them. In fact, when you open the machine, when you open that box, you're told to call the direct 800 number so that they will assist you through that process. We want you to get set up appropriately, quickly, and correctly. And the best way to do that is to talk with one of our tech support people. They are here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., 5 p.m. California time. So we're here to help you. We want you to be successful. And when you open that box, that first number you should be calling should be our tech guys. Can you print on jerseys? Light colors, yes. Definitely on the light colors. When you're using a darker jersey and it's a polyester or a synthetic type of material, you're not going to be successful with that because the pre-treatment will not be absorbed, allowing you to put the white ink under base. So just understand when you're printing on those kinds of garments, white or light colors are definitely going to be successful for you. Can you print on microfiber? Again, this is a synthetic type of garment. It's not highly recommended. If it's a mixture of a microfiber with a cotton base of at least 50%, or you're doing a tri-blend of, say, cotton, rayon, and a synthetic, those can definitely be done. You just have to have a little bit extra caution when using the heat press because you don't want to put any damage to the synthetic products that would be there. Can you print on leather? It all depends upon the leather itself. If it's more of an open leather that's not been heavily tanned or has a heavy fabric on top of it, they definitely can be absorbed in. You're probably going to have more of a vintage look, a little more of a faded, may not have the pop that you're looking for as on a shirt, but definitely can be done. Now let's go through, what about PMS color and printing direct from AI and EPS programs? Yeah, definitely can create your graphic in the AI or EPS, but you got to export it as a PNG. And then you'll just drop it into the RIP software and be able to upload it right onto the printer itself. Let me go through some of the few more questions here on the limited time that we've got. The shelf life of the ink. You have 1 year on the color ink, 6 months on the white. And as I said earlier, if you have an unopened cartridge that's gone past that expiration date, we will replace that free of charge for you, so we don't want you being left out there. Do have a question here about how hard is the maintenance and how often? Folks, I will tell you right now, these are the least amount of, or this is the lowest amount of maintenance of any of the printers in the marketplace. On average, you're going to spend about 30 to 45 minutes a week with maintenance on these. your average cost that you will factor into your onto your operations is about $80 to $85 a month, and that includes certain things such as your cleaning solutions that you'll do about every 90 days, along with your wipes, your swabbings, and everything. And it's going to be out there for information, again, that your regional sales manager can provide to you. I will tell you that in comparison to many of our competitors, some of their maintenance costs on a per monthly basis are approaching upwards and over $200 a month in required maintenance. Again, you'll find this to be the lowest amount of any printer that's out there in operation. The shirts. Well, the question about the shirts, I'm assuming, is what kind of shirts. The key is ring spun shirts are always ideal to print on. And again, we can help you with finding not only shirt providers and distributors, but you'll be able to get shirts at wholesale prices of $2.50 or less with many manufacturers and distributors that are out there in the marketplace. This is why we say when you're looking at the average cost of a shirt, when you're incorporating the ink, the shirt, and everything, it can run from $3 to $5. And when you're pricing that out on a retail basis of $15 or more, again, your margins are very, very high. Let's take a look. This is, can you print on neoprene koozies, and if so, without the hat platen? Yes, you can. Light-colored ones are always the best. They always work well. Air conditioning and ventilation, so long as the humidifier is located near the machine, yes. You want your environment to remain cool. You want to keep it between that 62 to 92 degree temperature. You want a clean environment. You want the humidity down at 45% or more. You also would like to position it in an area where you don't have a direct air draft coming right onto the printer itself, because that can have a tendency to dry out the inks a little faster as it's going through the production. And we have videos on that, on how to set it up, as well as locations and how to set up the actual area itself and the environment that you're looking for. Unfortunately, we're getting to the end of the period here. I do want to thank each and every one of you that have been on here today. As I said, it's been a pleasure to have this opportunity. We are going to have some additional webinars here in the not-too-distant future. We're hoping to roll one out here in another 4 or 5 weeks, where we get into the actual techniques and capabilities to do on the printer. We'll also look to do another one before the year is out to look at the economics and the return on investment from pricing, marketing, and looking at the advantages from a tax standpoint as well. And when we do, we will give you sufficient announcements and allow you time to sign up for it. Again, if there is additional information that you would like, please do call the toll-free number of 877-626-2538. Our regional sales managers will be there to take your call. We would welcome your call at any time. We are here 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. If we if we're not here at the time you call, we will get back to you via the phone, via the email, or whatever best way to reach you. Again, thank you so much for your time, your attendance. We will repost this in its entirety up on our website here in a few days. I want to thank you again all for your time with us today. Thank you so much.